Trustee Ahuna,
Ayo.
Trustee Akaka,
Yo.
Trustee Akina,
Aloha mai kako.
Trustee Alape is excused, Trustee Galuteria,
Yo.
Trustee Lindsay, Trustee Souza,
Yo.
Trustee Waihe'e, not on, and Chair Kahele.
Present.
We have 7 trustees present. We have quorum.
You will be able to watch and listen to the proceedings. If you wish to testify on a specific agenda item, please follow these steps. Please raise your hand to indicate that you would like to speak. We will then change your status from attendee to panelist when it is your turn. This may take a few seconds, so we do appreciate your patience. And as a panelist, you will have the option to turn on your camera and unmute yourself to provide testimony. Once we have finished testifying, please mute yourself and you'll be returned to attendee status. Before we move on, I'd like to introduce our kapohana, Stacey Ferreira, and I'll allow her to introduce her team for today.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, Trustees. I'm the only administrator in the room today, and before we go into executive session.
Okay.
Mahalo.
All right, mahalo, Stacey, and then the chair would also like to recognize our board counsel, Richard Naivi Waterman, who is here as well with us. On first item on the agenda is our executive session. So the way today is going to run, we do have a very robust meeting, but we're going to go into executive session first. That will allow us to talk about some things that are very, very important that are before OHA and the board. Following our executive session, we'll come back into our open session, and then we'll continue on with our board business at that point. And so, Laeha, is there anyone signed up to speak? Or on our first item is executive session, and so do we have anyone signed up from the general public to speak on that item?
No one is signed up to speak on this item.
Okay, before we recuse ourselves into executive session, I want to announce that we will return to open session. We'll continue the live stream once we're done. Those of you joining us on Zoom, we will need to remove yourself from this meeting. You may also join the meeting once again once we go back into open session. And we don't have anyone to speak on any of our executive session items. Is that correct? No. My plan, hopefully, is that we can get through our executive session, within about an hour and a half. So coming back in 10:30-ish, we'll see if we need that much time, but I definitely want to make sure that all of our trustees and our legal counsel have an opportunity to robustly talk about these items. And so we'll just play that by ear, but to run and get through our agenda today, that's what I'm hoping for, and we'll just see how that goes. Okay, so any trustees would like to be recognized?
Chair, I know you have the discretion, but because there's a sensitive matter on our executive session, I would suggest that all of our aides be excused in the executive session.
Sure. Any other trustees have any issues with that? Okay. So can I get a motion to recuse ourselves into executive session pursuant to HRS section 92-5? Okay, we have a second. We have from both trustees Souza, Lindsay, and Akina. And so can we get a roll call vote?
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka, Trustee Akaka, Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alape is excused, Trustee Lindsay, Trustee Galuteria,
Aye.
Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e will be joining us shortly, Chair Kahele,
Aye.
and Trustee Akaka. We have 6 trustees. We are moving into executive session.
Okay, and I've asked our Board of Trustees, Chief of Staff to remain